What's up everyone, Dragonheir here, and today we are spotlighting Vinyara, an ice legendary support hero that you can get for free early on, and I will show you her abilities and best builds, but also I will cover areas where she shines and carries. So let's go right into it.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when
Alright guys, first, who is Vinyara? Well, she's a free legendary hero that you can obtain early on through quests. She's an ice support hero that does attack penalty and pushes ult energy back by 100%. Now let's go over Vinyara's skills and what makes her special. So on her aura, she increases all allies accuracy by 40 in all battles. This is pretty good early on in the game because you don't have that gear or that much gear that gear does a lot of accuracy. Then on her passive, when inflicted with control, the hero is immune to it and has 100% chance of inflicting frozen on the caster for 5 seconds. And this skill takes effects only once every 6 seconds. So she's pretty much 100% immune to control effects every 6 seconds. So you don't even need to build her with resistance. And it is very good for one special dungeon that I will show you later on. And now let's go over her battle skill. She grants a shield equal to 450% attack plus 10% max HP for 10 seconds and defense up to for 5 seconds to the hero and the ally with the lowest current HP. So she does shielding based on her attack and her max HP, and she puts defense up to. Not only on herself, but also for one ally target as well, with the lowest HP. So pretty good battle skill. And then lastly on her ultimate, she deals 900% attack core damage to enemy, dispelling all their buffs and reducing ultimate energy by 100%. This is amazing. And also it has 100% chance of inflicting frozen for 3 seconds and attack penalty 2 for 10 seconds. You don't even need to use scrolls for her to get it to 100% chance. And this is amazing because this legendary hero doesn't even need to be scroll to be fully effective early on in the game, or for like dungeons like Curse Dungeon stage 20 or Ancient Battlefield stage 12, stuff like that. So amazing hero. You don't need to scroll her at all early on. So save your scrolls on her and she will carry you anyway. To make Vinyara perform at her best, you want to build her like this. You want to build her with a lot of HP, some attack, and a lot of accuracy and some skill haste as well. So let's go over her gear now. There are 3 different types of gear sets that you can build on her, so she's pretty flexible when it comes to gear. So the first one is like my boosting gear with accuracy, because I'm using the Brotherhood Spirit, which gives me 25% defense, and when the Weaver casts an ultimate skill, all allies' elemental damage will increase by 15% for 10 seconds. So every time she uses her ultimate, she will boost all my allies, like from the permafrost, by 15%. So this is pretty good. And for the main stats I am using, for example, my chest piece, I'm looking for HP percentage, some HP and some accuracy and some defense as well. Or not a good stat on her would be attack percentage. So in the best case, it would be like HP percentage, HP accuracy, defense percentage, and attack percentage. And that would be like her best stats, I would say. Then on the gauntlets, I'm looking for defense percentage or HP percentage. Or you can even use attack percentage. If she is built with a lot of survivability on your other pieces, you can even use the attack percentage gloves on her to get even more like the attack and shielding. For example, these gloves, it gives me some attack percentage, or maybe these ones. This one's even better. It gives me plus 1000 more attack and more HP as well, but it lowers my accuracy. But this piece of gear works very well on her as well. Then for her helmet, I'm looking for a lot of accuracy here. As you can see, I have 44 plus another 12, so pretty good piece on her with attack percentage and HP percentage as well. And then for a weapon, I'm looking for this mythical piece, the Magic Crystal Refinement, because it boosts my attack equal to 300% of my accuracy, of the current accuracy. So the second build is much simpler. It's like the early stages of the game, right, build. And I'm focusing on the Holy Hunter, 2 pieces, for the plus 40 accuracy and plus 12 skill haste. And then I'm using the Puppeteer Inspiration for the plus 40 accuracy as well and some resistance. But she doesn't need it because of her passive, right? But it's always nice because, this piece of gear gives you a lot of accuracy. So early on, when you struggle to get, to 300 accuracy, stuff like that, these 2 pieces together, that's 80 plus accuracy, right? Just from the 2 pieces. So pretty good. And once again, I'm focusing on accuracy in here on my chest piece. Then for my gauntlets, I'm focusing on defense or HP percentage. On a weapon, I want more HP, and some attack percentage because I have enough accuracy. And then on a helmet, I'm using HP percentage and accuracy as well. So this is like the early stages of the game, this build. And the third build, I will show you real quick. It's not a boosting guild. boosting build, and it boosts your ultimate recharging speed. Because I'm using the free pieces of the Puppeteer Inspiration, because on free pieces, when the Weaver casts an ultimate skill, allies of the same element gain 10% ultimate energy. Any target can only gain this effect once within 15 seconds, right? So whenever she casts ultimate, she boosts everyone else of the same element ultimate energy by 10%. Pretty good. Then for my last piece, the mythical piece, there are 3 different types of your mythical pieces that you kind of want to use on Vinyara. One of them is the Sky Code 3D, because when the Weaver grants a shield, one debuff is also dispelled from the target. This effect can only trigger once every 20 seconds, and she does shielding on a battle skill, right? She shields herself and the ally with the lowest current HP. So this is one piece that you can use on her, the Sky Code 3D. The another one is the Magic Crystal Refinement that I showed you earlier on. And the third one is this Immortality, right? The Monalysis Teardrop. When the Weaver HP drops to 0, gains Immortality for 3 seconds and 15% damage reduction for 10 seconds. And this effect can trigger once every 120 seconds. So this is another, mythical gear that you can use on her if you're using these free gear pieces, right? If you're using the Puppeteer Inspiration or the Brotherhood Spirit and you want all 3 gear pieces, then the last mythical piece is up to you. What do you want more, right? If you want her more survivability, then you can use the Monalysis Teardrop. If you want her to dispel some debuffs, you can use the Sky Code 3D. And if you want a little bit more damage from her, you can use the Magic Crystal Refinement, because you want to build her with a lot of accuracy anyway, right? So this is pretty good. These three mythical pieces are very good on Vinyara. Now for the artifacts, there are a couple of artifacts that I will recommend on her. One of them is the Crown of the Unclean, because it gives you some defense and a lot of accuracy. And also when the Weaver uses the ultimate skill, there is a 75% chance to put down the defense penalty 1. So it's pretty good. It's a legendary artifact, which is not that hard to get, right? So this is like the main artifact you want to use on her, if you don't count mythical pieces. The another one from legendary category is this Frost Globe, because it gives you some HP, accuracy, and increase the Weaver chance of granting or inflicting status with their skills by 80%. This doesn't matter too much because she has 100% chance on inflicting the attack penalty and the frozen on her ultimate. So you mainly want this artifact for the accuracy. The another gear or another artifact that's very good on her is the Rift Hourglass. It gives you some HP, accuracy, and the Weaver gains 50 all the way to 100 extra skill haste. This is if you want to build her with a lot of skill haste, to use your ultimate more frequently. This is pretty good, especially if you're using the Puppeteer Inspiration, right? Because you will cast more frequently, which means you will always trigger this effect every 15 seconds pretty much. So this is pretty good combination. The another good mythical artifact is the Witch Remains. I was using this early on as well, because it gives you 60% chance on inflicting defense penalty 2. But on her ultimate, she only does 1 interval of damage, or it's like 1 singular damage, right? It's not like 3 different hits. It's only 1 hit, so it's not very reliable because it's only on 60% chance to inflict the attack penalty too. So it's good, but it's not the best on her, right? You want to use the Witch Remains on heroes or champions that do multiple hits on their ultimates, right? So that's why I would really recommend to use the Crown of the Unclean or the Rift Hourglass or the Frost Globe. Another artifact that's pretty good is the Spiritual Incest Burner. It increases the Weaver ultimate energy by 10% after unleashing ultimate skill, right? And it's pretty good because it gives you plus 70 to accuracy and some HP as well. So there are 2 main stats that she is using, right? And if you don't have any legendary or mythical, there are a couple of epics that kind of work. One of them is the Ivorance Arrow for the accuracy, or the Lunar Harp for the accuracy as well, right? So this is like early on, if you struggle to get a lot of accuracy, then you can use these 2 epic artifacts, to get some accuracy from the species, right? Now let's go over some runes. Let's start with the positive rune. So on your positive rune, you want the main stat to be either defense, HP, or attack, but you definitely want some accuracy on it and some skill haste, right? So this one is not that bad. I wish this is more like HP build, but it's fine because there is a skill haste, there is HP percentage, attack percentage, and accuracy. It would be the best if this was like HP, right? The flat HP, the 7k HP or something like that you can get from the positive rune. Yeah, 7,700. But, defense is pretty solid on her as well. And then on the negative rune, I'm looking for accuracy. with some attack percentage or HP percentage or some, survivability. This is not the best. This is the best one, yes. So there is accuracy as a main stat. A lot of skill haste. As you can see, I have 3 substats of skill haste. This is plus 23 skill haste. There is attack, there is defense percentage, and attack percentage as well. So this is pretty good. Like for your negative rune, I would recommend something like this. But it also depends, the runes are really dependent on your gear, like what you're missing on your gear. If you have enough accuracy, you can go for double, like survivability. You can go for some HP, defense, stuff like that. It really depends on what you're missing on your gear. But usually you would want to get some accuracy from your negative rune, right? But I will always recommend to get some skill haste from your runes, because you can never get the skill haste as a substat on your gear, right? At least not in Season 1. I don't know if it's going to be possible in Season 2. I don't think so. Which is why I always recommend to get some skill haste on your runes. Either the positive one or the negative one, right? So these are the runes. Now let's look on the talents. For Vinyara, I'm using the lower path because it gives you the rising momentum. While dealing damage with the ultimate skill, deals additional damage by 4% of the hero max HP upon each hit. So this is why you want to build her with a lot of HP, right? This is why I would prefer to have HP stat, the main stat on my positive rune, rather than the defense. Then the second talent is the turn of tide. Each time the hero successfully triggers resistance, gains 10% ultimate energy, and this effect can trigger once every 20 seconds. This is pretty huge because she has the immunity on her passive, right? The control immunity every 6 seconds. So this way, in a dungeon like Ancient Battlefield, she will boost the ultimate energy. So you don't even struggle with the skill haste in that dungeon, right? So this is why you don't even need to scroll Vinyara, which is huge, especially in early game, right? It's like 7 or 8 legendary scrolls that you can save for different type of heroes, for like DPS or for your tank or something like that. So this hero is insanely good early on. The next talent is the Relentless Pursuit. It extends the debuff duration by 2 seconds, another very good talent. And the last talent is the Avert Crisis. Each time the hero successfully resists a debuff, gains 20% max HP shield for 5 seconds, and this effect can trigger once every 20 seconds. Once again, very good because she has the passive, right, where she's immune to control debuffs, so she will resist, right? And this gives her 20% max HP shield, which is why you want to build her with a lot of HP, a lot of accuracy, and some attack percentage as well. Well, Vinyara excels in Cursed Dungeon because of the ult pushback, which means that the boss is on longer casting interval, and that allows you to cycle your abilities even without having most of your heroes scroll, right? She also puts the attack penalty on the boss, which is crucial because this boss can do some crazy damage, especially if you don't have any multiple buffs on your team, because the boss will steal one of your buffs, right? And if you don't have any buffs, the damage will be boosted by 50%, which is why you want multiple buffs on your heroes, right? When the boss does the ultimate. But this attack penalty is very good as well, because then it will lower the damage, right? So means a lot of survivability for you. Another area where she excels is Ancient Battlefield, mainly because of her passive ability to resist the boss control debuff, which puts a backfire debuff on a boss, meaning he receives 20% more damage. And I made a video about this, about the Ancient Battlefield guide, the boss. So go check it out if you struggle with this dungeon. Vinyara was also great in the Vinyara boss fight in Continental Challenge due to her ability to dispel all buffs from the enemy. And if you pair her together with the Broody, an epic hero, they were like the complete counter for this boss, right? Because Vinyara stole the damage reduction and the defense up from the boss, and then Broody stole her shield, which means she didn't use her mechanic to, boost the damage reduction on her. Which means these two completely counter this boss, and the rest, the 3 other champions, were up to you. You could go for 3 other DPS, and you were completely safe, right? So she pretty much countered herself very well. In my opinion, she is not that great in Arena or Temporal Vortex, but she will carry you in a Curse of Dungeon, right, or the Ancient Battlefields Stage 12. And those are 2 pretty hard dungeons that are made easier thanks to Vinyara. And they are very important, especially early on, because this way you can farm your mythical gears, right? And you can farm the negative runes. So Vinyara is insanely good early on. To wrap it up, Vinyara is an excellent legendary ice support hero because of her ultimate, where she pushed down the ultimate energy by 100% and inflicts attack penalty too. Then she does a lot of shielding on her battle skill, but it's only for herself and the ally with the lowest HP, but still it's pretty good. And then her immunity to crowd control on her passive every 6 seconds are insanely good, and she helps you survive through some tough moments. But to get to her full effectiveness, you will need a good gear, right? You need a lot of accuracy, you need some HP and some attack, and you need the smart timings to make her, work in the best way she can. I would give her 10 out of 10 in early to mid game, thanks to her ability to push boss ults back and giving you more time to cycle abilities, which means you don't need to use that many scrolls early on. And in late game, I would give her 8.5 out of 10, just because she only does single target abilities, right? Her shield is only single target. If her shield was like an AoV, like 3x3 square AoV shielding, she would be 9.5, maybe 10 out of 10 even in late game, right? Or if her ultimate was like an area of effect, then her value would skyrocket even more, right? She would be busted for arena as well. But she is still an amazing hero that carries hard early on. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe, and let me know down below in the comment section what kind of rating would you give to Vinyara and where are you using her. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!